Bal Gangadhar Tilak, also known as Lokmanya Tilak, was a prominent Indian independence activist and one of the leading political and social figures of India during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Born on July 23, 1856, in Ratnagiri, Maharashtra, Tilak was a scholar, teacher, and journalist, who used his knowledge and influence to mobilize the Indian masses in support of the independence movement. Tilak's early life was marked by a strong interest in education and politics. He was a brilliant student, and he excelled in mathematics, history, and Sanskrit. After completing his education, he became a teacher and worked in several schools, where he used his platform to educate students about the importance of political and social activism. He was also a journalist, and he used his newspaper, the Maratha, to voice his political views and to call for social reforms. Tilak was a strong advocate of Hinduism and Indian culture, and he used his influence to promote Hindu nationalism. He believed that India's independence could only be achieved through the mobilization of the masses, and he worked tirelessly to build a strong and united national movement. He was a charismatic and powerful speaker, and he inspired many people to join the independence movement. In 1890, Tilak was one of the founding members of the Indian National Congress, and he quickly rose to prominence as one of the most influential figures in the organization. He was a strong advocate of passive resistance and civil disobedience as a means of achieving independence, and he was one of the leaders of the Swadeshi movement, which encouraged Indians to boycott British goods and to promote indigenous products. Tilak was also a strong supporter of the Home Rule movement, which called for greater autonomy for India and for the establishment of a constitutional government. He believed that the British colonial government was oppressive and unjust, and he worked tirelessly to mobilize the masses in support of independence. He used his newspapers and public speeches to voice his political views and to inspire people to take action. Despite his political activism, Tilak was arrested several times by the British authorities, and he spent several years in prison. However, his incarceration only served to increase his popularity and influence, and he became known as Lokmanya, or beloved leader, to the masses. In addition to his political activism, Tilak was also a strong advocate of social reforms. He believed that India's independence could only be achieved if the country was strong and united, and he worked to promote social and religious harmony. He was a strong supporter of women's rights and education, and he believed that women should be empowered and educated so that they could play an active role in the independence movement. Tilak died on August 1, 1920, at the age of 64. He was a charismatic and influential figure who left a lasting legacy on India and the world. He was a pioneer of the independence movement, and his contributions to the cause of independence are remembered and celebrated even today.